Southern Railway, Memphis Division, 1975-ish. Yes, I know. I've got a lot of stuff done and put out a couple of videos this week. But again, when you get to spend time in the train room, you get some stuff done on occasion, especially when you're just literally ripping out and put it in. What do you mean ripping out? Well, have a look. So we've started basically at the end of Sheffield here, transitioning into Tuscumbia, and this was all behind trees and before now, but the end of secured track is right here. So this is old, just track that's just laying there. So it's part of the, hey, let's get the track put down so we can wire it and get it painted and get it get some real scenery started. It's like, all right, but we have to transition and to a grade. And again, how do we get a good grade with with things we have? Go back to talking about this bridge and the car bridge in front of it. The view here is this. That bridge is significantly higher than this one, and back here at this old level is like I was really gonna have to drop this down or something to get that quote that mismatch. But now if I put this right here at the level of that and the main bridge back there, we get a lot closer to that view of the bridge back there. So we had to jack this, jack the elevation up back here by an inch of foam. So, all right, we do that. How do we then transition that down? Well, this whole corner was, really, all kinds of wompy jawed anyway, with, not, the stuff being, not horribly secure. But now this is all sitting, multiple layers of foam, secured. This is nice and solid here. So then we get down here and it's like, okay, do we get this crazy, that would be a pretty steep grade. And again, it just not working out with, trying to get the track work in and trying to get the crossing. Because again, this is one of the scenes that I really want to get right, because I spent a lot of time sitting here parked next to that little box as a kid, parked in a car watching trains go at this crossing. So I really want this crossing to be really close, just because it's one of the scenes that's just cemented in my head as a kid. Now obviously that's a lot more than that. So what's going to end up happening here is this hole's going to get plastered in up to probably about where this line is. This will be just kind of plastered the level of this and bring it up to probably about right where my thumb is. Can be a little bit, be able to level this out and put the things in here. So, but this gives me a nice base. Yeah, I could have built the foam up a little bit higher, but again, just kind of winging it and figuring out, all right, where this crossing is going to sit on this turn. So the track's going to come upgrade, get a little bit of a bend in it, straight for the crossing, and then continue on around the corner. So keeps my the crossing on a straight piece of track, which is it needs to be, and then keeps the radius of this turn manageable for longer cars. Then it's like, okay, well then you got to get the grade. You can't have it be down here where it used to be, otherwise that grade is just unintelligently steep. So it's like, all right, well, we got to revamp this. So then cut that foam off, put another piece in here. So again, I'm now an inch higher than I was. Cut all, take out all of Tuscumbia, cut a piece of foam, get it in here, and you can see the line that I've drawn on the side of there. That's gonna ease that on down to back to flat about right here. So now the grade is much more manageable. But again, this was the ruling grade for westbound trains coming out of Sheffield Yard. So I mean, the fact that the grade here is actually steep is prototypical. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't have anything that I'm, and again, I'm trying to run, four 3-axle units or 3 or 5, 2-axle units. So I'm not too worried about, enough locomotive power. I don't think I'll get to having regular trains with that many locomotives on it, but I'll have some. So So I haven't, you know, ripped all that out, new foam in, and it allows me to get to the point where we're, you know, got track secured. And then it also, you know, we have to swap out the most problematic turnout on the layout. So it's like, what, you know, it's an Atlas, it's stock. I've already worked over the frog here pretty good. You can see it's been over, but it's still having a lot of problems. And it's like, why is this thing giving me so many problems?